Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Easy Tarot Lessons brought to you by the Academy of Divination. That is us. We are going to talk about something today that I think beginners should know, but anyone else, I'd really like you to sit down if you would at some point and think about this. And it's the contemplation of this that will really help you increase the quality of your readings. And it's free. It's not, you have to go buy something to do this. But at the end of our conversation, you'll either agree or disagree, but hopefully you'll like it. So we're going to jump right in. Mandy and Sharon here today. So we're going to start. Hey, guys.
Hey.
So it all comes down to one question. And I hope the new kids are taking notes. I've been doing this not all my life. I started around 11. That was my first picking up cards and playing around and trying to read for my friends. 15 years went by of reading books, trying this, practicing, studying all kinds of religion and magic and philosophy and a lot of metaphysics. So in other words, I screwed up a lot. And then finally, it finally started to click, and then I got jobs, and I did this over and over and over. 10,000 clients. I've been doing this in a while. I personally taught Mandy. She's one of my private students, and she has taken on her own set of skills and is just fantastic. So any advice you get from her is fantastic. Sharon is one of my personal students, and she has gone on and mentored other people. Matter of fact, Mandy's teaching now too. So between the three of us, what you're about to hear today, this comes from real professionals. We're not corporate executives. We didn't buy a tarot website after we came out of corporate America and said, how can I screw people out of money? How can I make money nickel and diming for people? We do this because this is just what we do, and we can't shut up because of the good news of metaphysics. So the question that I'm posing to everyone, including myself today, is let's go back in time. You're picking up your first deck, or if your first deck didn't work out, your second deck, but there was a point in time where you said, hey, I want to do this. I'm going to try to do this. So for simplistic use, I'll just say when you picked up your first deck, what do you know now that you wish you would have known? What, and not one or two things, but sincerely, if you could go back with nothing other than this knowledge, and you didn't know who's going to win the Super Bowl or president or whatever, but you just were able to take these years of experience reading tarot. What do you know about clients, about yourself, about intuition, about memorizing cards, about formula? I want to share today, just in case we all flop dead, but magically this episode is broadcast to the world and everybody's like, oh my God, I wish I knew all this stuff. What can we share with people and say, boy, may not be the most important thing, may not be the end all thing, but in about 30 minutes, what can we cram in here and go, young whippersnapper, back in my day, you should have known this. I'll start, and we can go round robin, but I'll start to give you an idea. You'll hear it a lot from me, but memorizing cards, keywords, trying to memorize colors, trying to believe. Here's the big thing. I wish I would have known better than to believe any tarot author out of any book, because they just make this stuff up, or they're just copying what other people have written. If you don't believe me, just go back and read all the books, especially the old ones, and you'll see that there's a lot of intellectual laziness in the tarot. And we've got to stop that. We need new authors, yes. We need better authors, but we need people to teach, and writing a book is teaching. We need people to teach who've been reading for tens of thousands of clients. We need people to teach who've been doing this for dozens of years and have built up a good reputation and have, not. Here's a little side note. I go to a lot of, well, not so much anymore, but I've gone to a lot of how to sell your book seminars, how to write a book seminars, book university for authors seminars. And over and over, the same things are told. Don't write a book. Go out and find what people want to buy, and then either write it or, even better, interview experts, slap your name on it, or just hire a ghostwriter. Just get it going. Oh, it's disgusting. Never anywhere in any of these, hundreds or thousands of dollar admission seminars and expertise and training, never do I hear stay in school, don't do drugs, work hard. Never do I hear know your subject, pour your heart out, write until your fingers bleed, and then go back and start just tearing it apart and mine out the diamonds. Maybe a couple of like cubic zirconias, because those do have value. Don't call them diamonds, but say, hey, okay, here's the diamond. By the way, here's a few cubic zirconias that will put you in the right direction, or not cubic zirconias. I don't know, some other kind of gems. I'm really bad at gems, like topaz or turquoise or something. It's not quite a precious stone. But the thing is that never do I hear give them everything you know. Establish your stardom. In rowing, because I'm rowing now. In rowing, there's an edict. There's a commandment. It's like the 11th commandment, right? And it's like, don't leave anything behind. Whether it's practice, whether you're in a race, when you're done rowing, you should be so dead and jelly-legged and tired that you can't help carry the boat back to the boathouse. Because if you haven't pushed yourself so hard that your chest is going to explode and your brain's going to melt down, then you haven't done your job. Rowing takes all kinds of insane commitment. Now, it doesn't mean everybody has to do that, but that's what the coaches are keep pounding. I've watched a lot of videos. I've got 2 in-person professional coaches. I'm on a coaching program with teams and whatnot. I'm just telling you, they're nice, but they're brutal. That's what we should be doing when we're teaching the tarot. And so if I could go back in time, I couldn't sort through all the crappy books that I wrote. But I don't know, maybe I would have just sought out a couple of live tarot teachers at occult stores or something and just gotten different perspectives, but just practiced with someone there for me. All right, there's a lot of other rants that I have. Sharon and Mandy, do you want to jump in? What do you know now that if you could just go back a couple of years or even a dozen or years, is there something that you would say this would have changed everything?
Well, I think I was, in a sense, quite lucky because I came to tarot later on. I'd been doing spiritual awareness and not even thinking about tarot. So I'd learned all about channeling and that kind of thing. And by the time I picked up the tarot as a tool, although I was sort of teaching myself for a little while, I soon kind of thought, no, I need some expert guidance here. I really like these cards, but I recognise the fact that I didn't really know what I was doing and that I was looking for, I started to kind of I came into it when there was an online, you know, directory of people that you could kind of listen to their podcasts and, you know, check them out. I didn't go to tarot back in the day when there wasn't such a thing so easily available. So I found you quite early on in my tarot journey. So I hadn't developed too many bad habits by that point, if that makes any sense. But I mean, you know, I'd had a go at it for a couple of years and thought I had an idea of what I was doing, but I felt I needed some expert, I don't know, input to kind of make it better. And I had no idea what a huge difference that was going to make. I just thought it was going to just sharpen what I'd already been teaching myself. But my God, I was in for sort of, you know, such a pleasant surprise. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I remember back when I was a teenager. Now, it's not that there weren't metaphysical stores or New Age stores in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, but you know, you're some broke ass teenager. You got no idea. It's like, you know, it wasn't like they were ever, and they were individual stores. It wasn't like later on in the 90s and 2000s, they started becoming chains. But uh, my first book on witchcraft, I actually found in the Weekly World News or the National Enquirer, like one of those rags. It's a tabloid, like you have them out there, like the Sun.
Right.
And it was in the back, and it was like, ooh, the power of witchcraft, and it was, but it was metaphysical, and I was like, oh, I got to check this out. And it was written by Gavin and Yvonne Frost, and it was this ugly purple book. I mean, it was like purple with a yellow cover, and wow. I read that thing, left it inside and out. No, I'd gone to the library, and I'd seen Never on a Broomstick, Diary of a Witch, but there were no instruction manuals. And from there, I found some home study courses or correspondence courses. Well, of course, you know, there's always been those around, but again, unless you're in the know, you couldn't find them. So, I mean, yay for podcasts, and not just podcasts, like free audio information, and YouTube, free video information. You just go on
Yeah.
YouTube and type anything in the sun. I'm going to school. I'm very fortunate. I'm going to Harvard to study computers, and I am allowed to also go online to YouTube, especially between semesters, and study computers. So if I need to know more about HTML or CSS or any like how the internet works, there's a whole bunch of crappy videos out there, but there are some good videos. So the point is that we do live in a time where, just in one lifetime, it's literally going from horse and buggy to the steam engine by cracky.
Yeah.
It's not that the internet has changed everything. It's that the wide scale adoption and kind of like how everyone, this is the power of a democracy, everyone can upload information. And of course, there'll be some crap up there sometimes, but generally there's good stuff. So yeah, I want to say you bring up a good point. We will never go back to those dark ages of not being able to find a teacher or find information, whether it's good or bad. At least it's out there.
Yeah.
Sharon, I'm talking way too much. What do you wish you'd known?
Oh, for 30 years, Dusty, I did cold readings.
Oh God,
30 flippin'
yeah.
years. And I did not know. I thought I had to jump through hoops and be the
Let's
psychic.
say, sorry, let's say blind readings, because when you say cold readings, that's an actual mentalist term.
Oh, no, I'm
So
not a
the fake
mentalist.
psychics,
No, I did
yes,
blind readings.
yeah. So
Blind.
people are like, oh, you did mentalism. It's like, no, 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 no. Yeah.
No. Yep, did blind readings. No clue that I was actually allowed to communicate with my clients. Um, got a lot of, oh, that was good, but it wasn't really what I wanted to know. And
Yeah, right.
yeah, now I might get, wow, that wasn't what I wanted to hear, but I tell them what they need to know. So that's the main thing. Those blind readings, 30 freaking years where I could have just been a more accurate to the question. I didn't even know the questions. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. God, blind readings. Oh my God. Just tell me anything. And it's not the client's fault. It's what we were taught and what we were raised. And all those things like cut 13 times, shuffle with your left
Oh
hand,
God.
your um, chant these words. I mean, my favorite. You must at all times wrap, keep your tarot cards wrapped in silk or a wooden box.
Did that.
Man, I wish I was in the wooden box business.
Yep, had them wrapped in silk in a wooden box.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I was like, I need a bigger box. Oh, by the way, kids, I'm going into the wooden box business. So there's a new rule. You must keep your tarot cards in a wooden box, blessed by Dusty's holy oil, except no limitations. And they must be bathed in moonlight. That's a real thing. You have to expose, but never expose your cards to the sun. These are the things we hear. And oh, and yes, women are more psychic than men, and if you're the seventh son or daughter, then you're better than everybody else. This is all the crap we were raised with. Tarots from Egypt. Um,
I left my cards outside overnight once in the moonlight, and do you know a damn raccoon stole them?
Oh,
I kid you not.
oh
See,
my gosh.
that's what happens. Oh my God, kids, you can't make this up. Um, yes, this is the problem that we have is things like astrology and the tarot get lumped in with all kinds of superstition. And then that gets totally polluted. So these things have superstition heaped on them, like just buried. They're just buried in superstition. It's like we got to get out there and scrub them off. And then to make it worse, part of the process of scrubbing off the superstition involves people coming in and throwing other esoteric things like the Kabbalah or sacred geometry or things that have nothing to do with, let's say, the tarot. They can coexist. Can we be neighbors? Absolutely, but you can't come into the house and call yourself family because there's literally no connection. You can't just inject something and say it was always there. So what happens is in an attempt to de-super now I talk myself into a corner. To remove the sound, my words are horrible today. Oh, look, I go to school. Um,
I want to
to
make
remove the superstition, thank you, right? To scrub this clean, we have people try to bring in the trappings of essentially ceremonial magic and go, well, the tarot is this, because they need to justify that it scientifically works. Well, you can't scientifically justify intuition. It works. It's there. The richest executives in the world swear by their intuition. That's old news. That's been around since for thousands of years. Uh, the best police in the world, they stick with facts, but they trust their intuition. Artists, well, of course, they use their intuition. So there's all these different highbrow occupations that have no doubt that intuition exists, and it's nice when we get a hunch. And just because we have intuition doesn't mean we discard logic. And that's really what I wish I would have known a long time ago, is that um, I have a belief, and this belief has worked well for me. So I'll share it with you, and I'll say it is my belief, but I've done pretty well for it. Magic is nothing more than 50% human and 50% divine. That's kind of like, Lord helps them that helps themselves. You got to get off your butt. You got to, and this is what we teach in manifestation school, which is, I probably
Yeah.
shouldn't. What did Hagrid set up? Probably shouldn't mention that. But okay, so pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. But the thing is that this is the same thing with intuition. Yes, we have to have a couple of rules. That's why we have spreads. That's why we have traditional card meanings, like to be guides to get us there. But we don't throw logic out the window, and we do embrace our intuition. So it's kind of like logic and the methods that we use are like the platform or the stage, so that
Yeah.
our intuition can be little ballerinas dancing around, and together they make the show. God, I wish I would have known that a long time ago. Just remove the superstition and go, here. Just do this, kid. Lots of practice, and your
And
intuition will
I
sharpen.
do
Yes.
think that the understanding which spread to choose and how to kind of ask the right questions and understand what the reading is about is a massive part of the training. And I, like Sharon said, it was all about blind readings before you came to realize, no, we're meant to know what it is that it's about, so we can make the right informed, logical choices to support that wonderful moment when all the intuition then comes flying through.
And let's just cover that. I'm going to make it real short. I'll give you guys a freebie here. It is just like going to the doctor or the mechanic or the police. It's like, I've been robbed. Okay, tell us what happened. No, you're the police. You should know. You tell me what's been taken, who did it, and solve this crime, and do it in 30 seconds. Otherwise, I want my money back. But you don't go to the doctor and go, oh, I'm not feeling well. What's wrong with you? Oh, you're the doctor. You should know. And you certainly don't go to a mechanic and go, hey, here's a whole bunch of money. I have no idea what's wrong with my car. You're the mechanic. You should know. We go and we say, doctor, my knee, mechanic, the thing, it's going ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. It's like, are you sure it's not going ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk? Like, maybe. Like, well, that'll be $800 to diagnose it, and then I'm $500 an hour. It's like, I just mechanic, right? Doctors so much more than that. No, you don't do this. So the thing is, and this leads us to another point. Just and Mandy is so right on this. It all comes down to common sense. The tarot must follow the rules. You're going to hear me say this over. If you get in my school, you're going to hear me say this over and over again. The laws of metaphysics must always comport. They must apply. They must adhere to or comport to the laws of regular, plain old, boring, vanilla physics. So metaphysics is not special. It's not some snowflake. Metaphysics and physics follow the same methodologies, rules, and structure. And when you understand that, that's what they mean by as above, so below. It's like, it's right there, but they hide it. They're like, oh, no, you got to study a ninth degree Rosicrucian before we let you know that. Like, damn it, I'm only like sixth. 20 years. I'll be old by cranky. I like that word, by cranky. And then again, to hog the microphone a little bit more, spreads, knowing which spread to use. So this is what I wish I would have known. And this is the meat of this. I think we really hit something here. Thank you, Mandy. And Sharon, being able to talk to your client, friend, relative, whoever you're querent, if you prefer, whoever you are talking to, ask them, oh, Josiah, what do you want to know? Because everybody's Josiah, right? What do you want to know? I want to know about my wife. Well, what do you want to know? I won't tell you. You have to tell me. It's like, oh, fine. Well, tell me about my car. All right, so we have to be able to talk with them just like anybody else, so that we know what we are looking for, because we have to sharpen, we have to point our intuition and say, like a flashlight. Matter of fact, here's a brand new one. Our intuition is like a flashlight, not a light bulb. I mean, granted, it can be like a light bulb. Oh, I'm just getting all kinds of, Oh, tell me, Sharon, what is your intuition saying? It's saying I left the oven on. Ha, ha, ha. No, no, no. Tell me about me. I don't care about your stupid oven. You know,
Exactly.
it tells me Paul's having pizza without me. Yeah, yeah, he's having pizza. No, it's like a flashlight. You know, we have to point it at a problem.
Mm.
And much like a flashlight, when you narrow the beam, it gets stronger because we're removing the same amount of output. We're just removing all of these distractions, and we're laser sharks with laser beams.
Oh
We're
God.
we're we're doing the laser, like the freaking laser beams, right? We're doing the focus. So the more tight your focus is, just like a flashlight. So the flashlight analogy is an instant classic, if such a thing were possible. So, boys and girls, write that down. This is what I wish I would have known. Talk to your clients. Talk to yourself. You know, whoever you're reading for, but really drill down. That's a marketing term. Drill down. Find what it is that you're looking for, and exclude everything else. You can always ask more questions about other things. Yay! Isn't that awesome? I didn't know that either. But you go, okay, I want to know everything about this, and you're assisting your intuition. You're giving your intuition a Christmas tree on which little ornaments or nuggets of information can be hung. And after a while, we'll start to see the pattern of like,
Yeah.
oh, this is what all because intuition just comes in. It's like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh, what the hell is it? A burning bush. The hell is that? Oh, it's like, no, see, there's a burning bush because it was, and you put it all in context, and it's like, oh, well, that makes sense. I should, I work on Sundays. Well, nobody should, unless it's your thing. Like going to the Super Bowl and having a hot dog, an awesome hot dog, donkey lips and thighs. Thank you, Eddie. So we're all over the place, right? So this is what I wish I would have known. Putting it all together. Talk to your client. Choose the damn spread. I was raised like, here's a spread, or here's a whole bunch of spreads. It's like, well, which one do you use? Here's a book of 1,000 spreads. Not that, that wasn't around when I was around, but if it would have been like, oh my God, even the books that I had, like, had 5 or 6 spreads, didn't tell you which one to use. And I'm not touting my book, but I will say that the reason why I wrote, here's how to use this spread, here's what this spread is for, is because every time I open a tarot book and it's like, hey, here's a spread, and I'm like, this is interesting. And it's just a couple of cards with names, your future, your past, what could be. It's like, there's no explanation of like when you should use this spread. What's it for? Is it a this or that spread? Is it a progression spread? Is it a, it's a past life spread? Okay, fine. Well, how do you use it? How do you set your mind to that laser focus or even a flashlight focus? And where do you point it so you can pull information? So talk to your client. I wish I would have known that.
And not even
Know
that
which
as
spread.
far as the spreads go, because again, 30 years, all I knew was the Celtic cross. But what I knew about the Celtic cross, I didn't have that deep understanding of it I have now. It's like card position 5. This is what crowns you. What the hell does that even mean?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
It's like,
look, Mandy, I'm sorry, but we're from America. We don't have crowns. Wait, we do have a triple crown, but that's for like horses and stuff. Seriously, we're like crowns. Yeah, okay, but see, it's like we look at kings and queens and pages and go, oh, I mean, it's just not part of our psyche. So we have to translate culture before we can
God,
even.
yeah. And you know what else? Even like before I did the course, I was aware what a Celtic cross was, but I didn't even know. I mean, I'm ashamed to admit this now, but I didn't even know about putting out the cards, like laying them down in a systematical order every time I did it. So it was all I just knew was at the end of the day I would have 10 cards out in front of me, but I can't remember if I can't remember the first card being the card number 1. I was just randomly placing 10 cards.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Talking about something I wish I would have known, and I wish I would. Look, if anybody invents the time machine, I will give you $1,000 to go back and kick my ass. Seriously, you throw out the Celtic cross and you go straight to the bedroom.
Yep.
I'm sorry, straight to card 10.
Yeah.
If you don't like card 10, don't read the spread.
Yeah.
Or you go, well, what? All of this stuff doesn't matter. What matters is how it's going to turn out. There's no spread verification. You don't know if it's correct. You don't understand the nuances.
Yeah.
Oh, God. God help me.
And also that feeling of turning over a card and you're just looking at this picture and you're thinking, I've got absolutely no idea what this is supposed to mean. So you just say a keyword.
Oh, let me look it up in the book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let me look it up in the book.
But if you've kind of like managed to learn 78 basic keywords or basic meanings, you sort of fool yourself that you know how to read the tarot cards because you've
And then you get angry when somebody wants you to pay them to teach you how to read the cards. And guess what? They still do that. Yeah. I know the tarot. I've read cards. Okay, here's an advertisement, folks. You can turn the sound down. I still get, and I'm not going to name names, but I still get potential students angry that they can't learn the tarot in a weekend. That like, well, what do you mean it takes so long to learn the tarot? So, son, he says, there's a lot of practice, and there's a whole bunch to know. If you think about what we are doing, we are accessing the voice of God. We are accessing the divine. We are finding out information that other people can't get. If they could get it, certainly wouldn't pay us. Well, okay, fine. We are manifesting things. We are changing the future. We're reading the future. We're solving crimes. Not all of us are doing all of these things, but collectively, this is what we do with the tarot. This is awesome power in our hands, and everybody can do it. And you want to just be able to go to some charlatan who's going to say, "Oh yeah, here, read the tarot in 10 minutes."
That brings me to another thing I really wish I had known, and I'm still learning it. I still haven't gotten there yet, but I haven't. That I'm allowed to get paid for my skills. Because there's a lot out there that says, no, it's a gift, it's against God to get paid or take, the whole cross my palm with silver. You can tip me, but I'm not allowed to charge you a thing.
Yeah, right. It's like everybody else in the world can have a job. Everyone else in the world can get paid for any number of things. But and make no mistake, there is schooling. Gee, I own one. There is schooling to become better at tarot reading. I mean, go look around. There's a whole bunch of schools, and there's always been teachers. So it's not like, oh, you can't educate yourself. But any skill, and this is a skill that anybody can develop, any skill that's worth providing has a fiduciary, has a monetary value. And I don't mean to say, well, it's worth it. Capitalism. I'm saying if doctors and lawyers and accountants, mechanics and farmers and what about giving a massage? Masseuses and masseurs get paid. Prostitutes get paid. Well, there's no product changing hands. You should give me a massage for free, like because God gave you hands. Like, I know I'm getting off on some weird things, but the point is that it's no different that we are using our psychic muscles, our brain muscles. Teachers, should they not be paid? They're just sitting there going blah 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 blah. If you get an F, Dusty. Oh no. I don't have issues, right? So Yeah, this is the only way that I've found. Maybe other people have another way to combat that demon of, and it's not other people saying. Other people can say what they want, but when it gets in our heads
Hmm.
and now becomes a personal demon because we've been brainwashed. All you shouldn't be paid for this. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Wait, you said it was a gift from God. I've got a better one than prostitutes. Priests and preachers and televangelists, especially televangelists, or God forbid, oh, I'm sorry, God bless, wrong term. God bless the Catholic Church. How many trillions, not billions, how many trillions of dollars is that empire worth?
Oh.
Somebody's getting paid.
Yeah.
That's God Incorporated. Now, I'm not saying they're not doing, the Lord. Oh, yeah, they are doing. They're doing the Lord's work, right? There's a joke because he's funny. Hey, any penny? No. Um, but anybody who says that, oh, the world is full of this is where problems start. The world is full of ignorant people and need to be put in their place. How many dictators have said that, right? So all we can do, because I'm not going to go down the road, is say you have to kick that out of your mind. So I think the Catholic Church thing, not to pick on the Catholic Church, but as an example, and we can say this of every religion that happens to have a large bank account or their own nation state, is God provides, right? Or whatever they say. Um, if we have an ability that we work very hard to develop, then yeah, we've got as much of a right to eat as anyone else. We don't go to other people's jobs and kick them in the chin and say, "Hey, give me your stuff for free." Why do you get paid to do
Well,
that?
it's a service. I mean, it comes down to, if nobody wanted it, no, nobody's being forced to have it, are they? So people come to you of their own choice because they believe it's going to give them guidance, and that's because it does, because there's so much evidence that proves it's right
Oh,
and
and
it helps
here's a
people.
better just to I want to interrupt you so I can fend off the skeptics. If anybody doesn't want a reading, anybody doesn't want to pass via con Dios, go with God. The fact that every tarot reader of note, anyone who's developed their skill, I don't care who you trained under, or self-taught, whatever, I did that. But every tarot reader of note, you don't have to read for anyone. You don't have to be paid. People don't want to pay us, that's fine. We can read the future. we can we can figure out our own futures. We can find the best deals. We can avoid trouble. We can, because like forewarned is forearmed. It's like, oh, hey, I know this information. So if other people decide, and many in the public don't want a reading. So if other people decide that they don't want a reading, you know what? That's okay. So beyond the money, if because what we do is worth something, but we're not just here reading for you. We're not out here, and this includes everybody who is a reader. Um, you could say that you're part of the we. We are not here to reach into other people's wallets. We're just doing what we do, and we're really good at it. We do it for ourselves. We do it for our friends, families, children, whatever. Um, the fact that we have the wherewithal to do it for other people, mechanics will fix their own cars. You know, lawyers will solve their own problems. Now they may go to another lawyer as well, just like we may go to another psychic as well. Doctor may go to another doctor as well. But don't think that our power does not work for ourselves. So I don't want anyone to take what Mandy said and for a moment think that it's all external. If the world stopped paying for psychic readings, our school would continue and people would still be learning because the best thing in the world you can do is read for yourself. The best thing you can do is have that ability. Now, there's always going to be people, there will always be people who don't have time to develop these skills. I'm a lawyer, I don't have time to fix my car. I'm going to a mechanic. I'm a mechanic, I don't have time to be a doctor. Go patch me up. And then all of these people need advice. So it is so important for us to stop wasting our time and learn this the right way, whatever that right way is. I have a solution. It's called easytarotlessons.com. Go sign up. Got some great specials for you. And we've got best tarot school on the planet. There are others. You can try them out. You feel free to, but nobody loves you like we do. And we do love you. It's like kind of unholy. We're one big giant family here. But the point is that we develop our skills, and in so doing, we become better than other people. I'm sorry, like A-Rod is Alex Rodriguez, famous New York Yankee. He's a better baseball player than I ever will be. LeBron James, don't like the guy, but man, basketball player, better. I'm kind of a Steph Curry, KD fan. Klay Thompson. That's my side over there. But these guys kick my ass at basketball, but I am better at certain things. One is teaching astrology and divination and tarot. So if you're listening, I want you to do well. The reason why we've gone over this is we want to show you the things we wish we could go back and know. And if you're not there yet, if you're still early on in your journey, you better sit down and shut up and listen, because you're going to find this out. Hopefully you'll find out quickly, easily, and without all of the wasted time and money that we did. All right, in the next couple of weeks, we are going to be bringing you a whole new series. We are doing kind of a soft reboot where we are going to go over a lot of the stuff we've done before, but we really want to give you a fresh take on this stuff. And if you've been reading for a while, please feel free to comment. Write me for an interview. Write me. That's literally my email. Write me at dustywhite.net. Write me at dustywhite.net if you want to be on the show. If you have any particular thing you would like to hear about, write me at dustywhite.net. It's nice and easy, right? It's easy to remember. Or can I write that guy? I should be doing that. Write that guy at dustywhite.net. Okay? To write me at dustywhite.net, because nobody's going to walk around going, oh, write me. Anything else we want to share with these wonderful people before I got to go?
I would like to say, you were talking about beginners, but again, 30 years, and this school changed my life.
Oh God, hasn't it? For you, Sharon, it really has.
It really has.
Yeah.
And I thought I was a good tarot reader, but the school made me better. as the people involved, the care involved, the information involved, there's nothing like it. There is nothing like it out there, and it's the real thing. It's not window dressing for new age bull crap, excuse my language. It's solid, and it's concrete, and it's real.
And it all makes sense. That's why I chose this school, because it wasn't just somebody saying, oh, this is what it is, just do it and trust it. It was everything was explained. There was a reason for everything. I'm an Aquarius, and I've got a Gemini. I've got logic. I'm an air sign, and things have to make sense to me. And there's a logical reason for everything. So therefore, it kind of sat very comfortably with me. Absolutely every single little thing that was taught. There wasn't a single thing that was not explained, or that I kind of thought, oh, that doesn't make sense. I need to question this. Yeah, I just kind of thought, yeah, I will absolutely buy that all along the way.
Absolutely. And thank you very much. One thing I did want to mention is if you're listening and you have not joined What's wrong with you? We
Yeah.
have a family here. No, seriously, we've got the nicest people on the planet here. I could name them, but then you go pester them all the time. We study together, we play together, we cry together. God, I hope not. But
We
yeah,
have. We have.
I know. Not supposed to talk about Fight Club. Oh yeah, we fight together. Yeah. That makes me feel better. Oh my God, no, we've been through good times and bad times. If you wanted to be a part of a real community of caring, supportive, friendly people, this is it. We just also happen to have a school attached. So come join us. You pop into easytarolessons.com. Our current thing is give me $1. That's it. Try it out. If you don't like it, I'll give you your $1 back. Now, if you stay, give me $10 a week. Woohoo! I got to eat too. I got to pay these guys. Well, let's see. I got to pay GoDaddy. I got to pay the podcast people. I got to pay not a whole lot of people. First, that's a good thing. Kids, if you want to, here's one last thing. If you're tired of this tarot thing, go into video, digital, something, internet thing, because brick and mortar is tough. I was raised in retail, but and we'll always need retail, and it's always nice to have a corner store, but man, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars to get yourself set up and going and running. So that's it. Or watch this. Get a deck of tarot cards, right? $12 and you're in business. Yay! All right, thanks everybody for listening to my ranting and to Sharon's and Mandy's wonderful advice. Do come back next week. We will have more happy good times for you. We have hundreds of hours of audio and video material free of charge. You got to find it on YouTube, Easy Tarot Lessons, or Easy Tarot Lessons podcast. You can. They used to call it iTunes. I don't know what they're calling it anymore, and I don't care. Spreaker,
Spotify.
Google, Spotify. Ooh, Spotify. iHeartMedia. Thing is, get there and learn. Get yourself. I command you, get yourself a deck of tarot cards. Get out there, practice, and have fun. All right. I'm gonna shut up now. Bye for now, everybody.
Bye-bye.